Morning. How's everyone doing today? We are up bright and early today and walking around here, trying to figure out what we need to do today. We started selling bundles again, so we're going to need to start producing a good amount of wood. This is what we currently have in our inventory. It's not looking very great. Just a lot of bigger rounds, and then like skanky, gnarly, not so great looking pieces that have rotted off pieces, and just I don't know, some of the wood's not very great looking. We do have a lot more wood in the back in the woods. I'll go check that out. We need to build a platform today for our firewood processor. That's what this is going to be. Might just leave it and then over here figure something out, because framing only goes so far. I really don't want to take apart the pallet. It looks like it's just stapled, but I might reclaim the 2x4s out of here and build a base myself. Because this stuff's pretty thin. I don't know if I really want to walk on that. I could probably cut a pallet down to size and fit it in there. That might be the better option as well. But I still have to go higher. That's the thing, and I don't need something this wide, this big and wide. Yeah, we'll sit on this for a little bit and figure out what to do with it. I'm not going to start ripping nothing apart yet because it is still morning. So, but we're going to do something with it. It's just stapled in, so it could just be cut apart and redone. We'll see here. Let's take a little stroll. Have the tripod out. Gonna do some filming today. Just want to get some stuff done. Feel productive. Fall is upon us. Things are changing. Leaves are changing. This is the fleet. The Husqvarnas. Want to get one more. Add one more to the crew. I'm gonna go riding with my boys. Then plus I can have a designated skidder that's hooked up with a winch most of the time. And I can leave trailers in those other two. Alright, this is the new work site that we cleared out. Yeah. Next time we put logs down there, we're going to put more big logs on the bottom and get them off the ground more. So one thing I didn't really do is get them higher up off the ground. But pretty decent pile for just a lawnmower, right? Can't really complain. Most of this grass is pushed back. So I'll probably set it up right in here. One end of this is going to be closer to here. You're just going to pick it up, set it up on this, and it's going to slide all the way down until we get to this. This we got to get up higher. That we need to get up a good 4 or 5 inches, if not more. So we started building the platform for it. It's right here. We just have to reinforce it and put some more boards across it. Shouldn't be much of an issue. Then I got the rest of this stringer over here. We can probably find another piece of wood, hopefully similar to that, or even maybe one of them 2x4s, and make that into another one. And then we'll pretty much put the metal carriages up on here once this is done and completed, and then I'll be able to transport this around. It'll be a nice little frame for it, and it'll give it more support for how much it can carry, because you're kind of limited. These are meant for carrying just boxes across flat ground. These rollers here, you put stuff on them like for UPS and stuff and slide them. That's what they're meant for. I'm trying to get the water off of them. That's the only thing about leaving stuff outside, it's going to get rusty. So this is aluminum, but you can see this one's starting to oxidize, but we'll throw some WD on it and it'll be good to go. We're using it for firewood, so shouldn't be no big deal. So this is what we got for inventory here. Decent amount, not a whole lot. Let's take a little stroll, shall we? A little morning stroll. Everything's fairly damp still. The dew and everything is wet, so probably won't be coming back here this morning until the sun dries some of this ground up. This is our logging trail, and you can see there's a lot of stuff over there that needs to come down too, and then just winch it out. The easiest time to get to that stuff is when all this dies back. That way it's accessible, because you can see right here, this is the area that gives us issues. And it looks like the area that's giving us shade is those pines. So maybe we will drop them pines in the other direction. This way I can get more light in here. But also the firewood processor looks like it's kind of blocking some of the light too right here. Those two trees kind of got to go. Never really noticed that. I mean, this whole area is dark right now because the sun's not very high, but until it gets past that tree, this whole area stays wet. Those are all birch in there. That's a big old cherry there. That I definitely want to take down. Got this pretty nicely opened up compared to how this was before. But you can see it's all cake and there's deer prints all in here. This is all swampy right now, so we're not really getting any wood in or out of here. Need to take material somewhere from over here on a high ground, just make a hole and just start filling this in with fill. I think wood chips would do pretty well, but they do disintegrate and do degrade, so you can only do so much there. I really like this woods. It's very peaceful. So it looks like the sun rises from over here. So the more we get over here cleared out, the better. And that's probably why we're not getting a whole lot of light, is because there's a lot of vegetation in this area here. We've kind of thinned this stuff out over here, taken down some of the pines as needed, and cleaned up the ones that have fallen. But there's a lot of stuff over here that needs to be addressed. This one here can go. It does have a lot of foliage on it though, so I'll probably wait until fall to drop this one. We don't gotta do all the leaves. I don't really care for dealing with trees with a lot of leaves. I like the straight poles with nothing on them. There's not a whole lot to limb, and like nothing to limb, preferably. It's the best way to do it. There's a lot of poles over here that need to come down. And there's this big behemoth here that needs to get winched out. And that would be easiest probably just to winch backwards into the woods. probably pull it from that way. Pull it straight in, but it's gonna have to be cut in half first. I'm not gonna be able to pull that whole thing like that. Now without breaking the frame on the mower. That log's probably good 75 feet long. There's some nice wood there too. That was a good drop, and there's still more wood in that stump. We just got to cut it low. The reason we cut this so high is because you see all the rot in it. There's not much holding wood here. I left myself this much holding wood all the way across, and yeah, I did kind of bore into it a little bit in the backside, but I was trying to get it to fall because it really wasn't doing much because it's so just punky and rotted. It's just that, like, before it gets like permeated or whatever you call it, perforated, I don't know the words. It's hard and it's old and it's rotted. That's all you need to know. So, but there's this big one here. There's definitely some more bigger ash. They're back here. Just have to get to them. It looks like that's a good size one there. Once we get all these over here, these smaller ones dropped, then we can start dropping everything on top of it and just pile it all up like we did before, and then eventually come in and take out what we need to. Well, we got pretty much all them poles that we needed out. There's only this one here, and that's the whole reason we did that way. Oh, there's a deer. Whitetail. There he goes. Bambi's out of here. So yeah, and then we still have this big old one over here we can buck up. I don't know how much good wood's in this. Hopefully a decent amount. It's all rotted. Yeah, this can be cut up. Just don't want to go too far back here because we don't really own back in there. Do want to find some more cherry though. What is that tree? It's got a big old split in the middle of it. I would not want to touch that. That's cherry. But yeah, got a couple projects we can work on, but there's no point in bucking really any of this up until we can get back here. So let's focus on what we got out at the moment and that processor. It's our best course of avenue for not wasting the whole day just randomly trying to cut down things in the woods that we don't know what we're going after. Don't have a game plan, kind of messes up progress. So but yeah, just wanted to check this out and see how what it was. There's still another log in there. There's tons of wood. That one there too. Just needs to get cut up. So, but as you can see, it's too wet and swampy right now back here. Anything would get just tore up the ground and start to get bogged down. See how soft this is? Need to get some fill in here, or some wood chips. Best course of action. Yeah, even in here is wet and muddy. The grass helps soaks up the ground moisture, but still, if it doesn't get much sun, it gets super swampy. So, like I said, after a certain time of the year, we're not able to get back in here because of how soft the ground gets. But that's why we're building everything out here and making this our little workstation area here. That way everything is on high ground and on dry ground. We're on a nice little hill here. Everything goes down. It's kind of high grade from here and slopes down. That's the way I made that trail the way I did, so it goes around, kind of like how a roundabout of a throughway entrance or exit goes. It's a gradual slope and not nothing heavy. You just kind of turn all the way, and that's how we did that. All those logs will be able to go on this processor. We just got to get it built. So I think that's going to be the next step, is to just start getting things assembled. We need to get that frame thing figured out. Probably take it apart because we only need it the size of this. Like, it should fit on a standard pallet. We don't really need something that's that wide and long. The length, half that length would be good. But we need to build this up higher. It needs to be closer to the height of that, because things have to be able to be dropped in the trailer. So they're going to have to be off the ground a good height. And that's another reason we're using this, because this will get me another inch off the deck based upon how high I put them trusses, because we're going to adjust where those are on those. I don't think it will go too much higher, but we'll go a little bit higher, and we can even make the bottom higher by raising up the legs. So probably end up doing that. So I think that's going to be our game plan, is just to work on this processor for today, get what we can assembled, and then just start ripping rounds up and getting stuff produced. So I'm going to go grab a drink, and I'll be right back at you.